round 4, and we have a pretty interesting matchup we're going to show you.
Yep, we've got Edwin Lopez on the left. He's a New York player. And we've got Nicholas on the right. I don't know him as well, so not sure what region he's from. We're going to have Edwin playing good old Night March. We all love it, love to hate it. And a little more interesting deck from Nicholas playing a Ryko Eelektri deck that we saw get a little bit popular at Virginia Regionals earlier, or last year, I guess. Or no, earlier this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So would you say it's a pretty dynamic matchup? A lot of back and forth and prize trading, stuff like that?
Definitely. There's lots of weird things. So, there's no lock aspect to the electric deck. So right off the bat, Night March not having to deal with any sort of lock, where they can have full access to all their resources and be aggressive. That is a really big deal. So right off the bat there, you got to give Night March a little bit of an edge. But we have Ryko. Ryko has an ability where it takes less damage, 20 less damage from attacks. And it's very common you see Assault Vests or maybe Fighting Fury Belt to make him a little more tankier. So Night March is going to have to put in some work to take 6 prizes on these Rykos, where Ryko can consistently just one-shot every Night Marcher. So.
And unfortunately, Nicholas does not start Raikou. Instead, he starts his other heavy hitter, Pikachu, which in this matchup might prove to actually be a liability as opposed to a threat.
Most definitely. And already right off the bat, you see in Edwin's hand, he's got a Maxis there, and he either plays Archeops or Gallade. Either of those are pretty devastating for Nicholas in this matchup, and it looks like his hand is looks like there's a pretty good chance he could actually get a turn 1. Either Archeops or Gallade could be a really big deal in this matchup. So
yeah, so basically what you're saying is Edwin has to get Archeops or Gallade out pretty early in order to establish himself a marginal advantage.
No, I think if he does that, he has a huge advantage.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a potentially very quick game if Edwin gets out that Gallade. So it's very possible that if Nicholas can get some Dynamos on the board here and maybe plays his own Mew or Mewtwo EX, that can be able to contest if it's a Gallade coming out swinging.
So let's explain exactly what the goal of Nicholas's deck is. He plays Eelektri, which is a Stage 1 Pokemon that has the ability Dynamotor, which allows you to attach lightning energies from your discard pile onto one of your benched Pokemon. So Nicholas's goal is just basically going to be to use the Electrics to power up all of his attackers very quickly.
Which we see 2 of those in play right now. Ryko is the one on his bench. That is probably what he's going to be attacking with as his main attacker. And then active, you see Pikachu EX there. Pikachu does a lot of damage. So Pikachu is a very strong closer. But it's not particularly strong in this matchup because dealing a lot of damage to one Pokemon is not really what you need.
Yeah, and it only has 130 HP, and I mean with the Fighting Fury build it has more, but either way, that is a very, very easy number for Night March to hit.
Yep. So
and it's likely that this Pikachu might just go down on Edwin's first turn.
Yes, that is a very good possibility. So let's see what he can do with this hand. If he's going to go for a Maxie's play right off the bat. Looks like he discarded it, so
I think he might just be searching for the first turn knockout on the Pikachu because Nicholas was only able to get 1 Dynamo out, which means at best he can have the Lightning Energy plus a DCE attachment onto the Raikou. And on top of that, he has to promote the Dynamo in order to do it and then find a way to retreat it. So, a Float Stone or a switching effect. So Edwin knows that Nicholas needs a lot to even be able to do anything at all next turn.
Yep.
If he is able to take the knockout here.
And we see him grabbing a Shaman. I did see Gallade, so he is definitely playing that Gallade.
Yep. And this is the power of Night March. This is what the deck is designed to do, is just to get a lot of Night Marcher in the discard, attach a double colorless or a single energy plus a Dimensional Valley, and just kind of Night March and do an absurd amount of damage.
Yep.
And they play cards like Shaman, Battle Compressor, all sorts of things to go through their deck, thin out their deck, draw all the cards in their deck, etc., just to get all of this happening on the first turn of the game, which is it's pretty insane.
So we see that Gallade getting to Edwin's hand, which is a really big deal because he can Ultra Ball it away here.
Yep. And if he's able to get the turn 1 knockout and the turn 1 Gallade, that's just...
Yes, especially if he can get the knockout with the Night Marcher.
Yeah.
So, and it looks like he's probably going to go for another Shaman here to keep drawing some more cards.
Yeah, I think if we see that, Nicholas's face is going to go from content and kind of excited to just...
Not so happy.
That is probably an understatement.
He'll be a little sad, I think.
A little sad. A little
No,
bit.
I don't think any tears will be shed, but...
You never know.
Yeah.
At least he's got his Pikachu cheering him on.
Yes, he does, Raymond. Yes, he does. All right, so we see Battle Compressors grabbing a few Lampins here. Nothing too surprising there. For folks newer to the stream, Night March, there's a few Pokemon with the attack Night March on it, and what it does is it does 20 damage times the number of Pokemon with that attack in your discard pile. So the goal of the deck is to use very efficient, fast attackers to just really aggro out most decks.
Yeah, aggro is a term that has been coined from many card games, and that just basically means being aggressive and just being quick, fast, efficient.
Yep.
All those things in order to take knockouts early in the game.
Looks like Edwin may have missed an opportunity to hit that that Maxie's turn 1. But I think he definitely wants to go ahead and play that Sycamore, get some more Night Marchers in the discard, and dig a little bit more. Because even if he still gets this knockout on Pikachu with Pumpkaboo, odds of it getting responded by Nicholas is very, very small.
Yeah, and it looks like Edwin managed to pick up the Battle Compressor, so he had 4 Night Marchers in the discard before, I believe. And he's going to add 3 more.
He had 3 Lampins, and then he just discarded 2 more Night Marchers off of that Sycamore. So
he'll be able to get 8 in the discard minimum, assuming that none of the Night Marchers are prized.
Yep.
And that's going to be 160 damage, and that's enough to knock out the Pikachu EX.
Well, that's 160, and then plus the Pikachu's got a Fighting Fury belt on it, but that Pumpkaboo also does. So that actually, I believe, is perfect math.
Yeah. And that's assuming that he doesn't get any more, because he still has another trainer's mail to find just more stuff.
He's drawing very well here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's actually a hand with 3 VS Seekers.
Yeah, so if he gets to hold on to that hand with that Battle Compressor, he can throw away maybe a Tech Supporter and have so many options for the later phases of the game.
Yeah, for sure, sure.
Nicholas is definitely not happy to see that.
Nah, at least his Pikachu's still smiling.
So we see there's only 3 Night Marchers in his deck.
Yeah, what if he just prized a bunch of Night Marchers?
Yeah, that looks like that might be the case. So I think Edwin can definitely get the knockout here, but if he doesn't draw these Night Marchers off of his prize, he could be in a weird position where he just can't attack.
Are we going to start seeing Shamans try to knock out the Tynamos?
Maybe, yeah. Fighting Fury Belt plus Sky Return is a knockout on a Tynamo, so he still has that out if things go downhill. But I don't think this Pumpkaboo is going to go down. And statistically, he's got a good chance of hitting Night Marchers off his prizes if he has as many as we thought.
Yeah, and it looks like Nicholas is just kind of making sure that Edwin's math is correct. Just double-checking. You always want to do that. Just make sure your opponent is honest and that you are
7, 8. So
actually being knocked out.
Yep, and Nicholas didn't realize the 10 from that Fighting Fury belt.
Yep, so that's
seals
going to be
the
a
deal,
170. That's going to be a knockout. The plus 40 HP on the Pikachu EX was not enough to save it.
Yep.
And it goes down. And that is 2 prizes for Edwin.
Did he grab a... He did get a Joltik off of there, so...
baby.
Looks like he's got a little bit of a safety net there if things go bad here. So, but I've played this electric deck in tournament before and tested it. It is not very good at responding immediately to these like severe aggression, especially when you're only able to get 1 Dynamo down on the field.
Okay, so we see an Eviolite go down on the Dynamo.
That's a Floatstone.
Oh, that's a Floatstone. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
All right.
I don't think people are playing Eviolites anymore.
The new art is different than the old art.
That's okay, Raymond.
I'm a hipster. I like to use the old arts, you know?
Well...
While I'm drinking my Dunkin' Donuts coffee in a Starbucks. That makes no sense. You know what? Never
It does
mind.
not make any sense at all, Raymond.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Anyways, so he's able to hit an electric off of this. I don't know if he hit an energy attachment. Looks like he does have a lightning in his hand. So we'll at least get... It's a little bit of a tough situation. So Nicholas effectively has to sacrifice something this turn. Or another option, I don't know if he'll see it or go for it. He could go get another Dynamo and Thunder Wave and try to paralyze his opponent's Pumpkaboo. And if Edwin misses a switching effect or an AZ or something like that, it's possible that
he's just able to stall a turn.
Yeah, then he can get back in this game.
Yeah, all of us old school players kind of know that old strategy of Dynamo with Victini. Do you remember that back in the day where people would actually play Victini specifically to be able to flip again on the paralysis flip of Dynamo?
Yep.
And Victini is a card that just lets you flip a coin again if you flip tails.
Yep. So I highly doubt that Nicholas is teching that Victini in here, but it is still, if he sees it, I think could be a good strategy.
Oh yeah,
here,
but
so.
I mean, first of all, he's going for the Shaman. He wants to draw. He wants his hand back, and he wants to take for more Dynamos. Either
absolutely.
way.
So I think what Nicholas is probably looking for here is to get 2 Dynamos. If he can get a Dynamo on the bench to have for a second electric, plus have another one that he can throw up in an attempt to paralyze this Pumpkaboo, that'd be probably best case scenario for him, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, there's one.
So Nicholas, I don't think he plays double colorless energy in this deck, which means he actually just does not have the ability to attack at all this turn, even if like everything went perfectly. There was just no chance that he could ever attack this turn, which is...
Well, he could Thunder Wave.
I mean with the Raikou, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, to knock out the Pumpkaboo, to like have a response knockout.
He could also Super Rod Pikachu back in and Iron Tail.
All right. You're right. I was wrong. He could flip four heads.
Hey, I mean, sometimes when things aren't looking great, you got to play to your outs. I learned that lesson a long time ago, and sometimes miracles can happen, and you can come back.
I agree with you. I'm not even saying that sarcastically. Like, that is actually just the truth.
All right, so looks like you just retreated into Raikou. So this Raikou currently has 120 base hit points, 40 more from the Fighting Fury belt, which puts him at 140 or 160. Plus his attack, he takes 20 less damage from attacks.
Yep.
So
it's actually just out of range.
Yeah, it's 10 damage short from being knocked out. And I think Nicholas recognized that based off of Edwin's discard off that last battle compressor, that he may be out or very low on Night Marchers. So I think this is a totally reasonable gamble. Yep.
This is a heads-up play by Nicholas.
Yep.
Recognizing the damage output that Edwin has based off of the signs that Edwin gave and the signals. Throughout a game of Pokemon, sometimes when your opponent makes an action, like Ultra Balls, and they don't find a Pokemon, or Battle Compressors, and they don't discard a certain thing, they give you signals, and they basically say, hey, man, I do not have X, Y, or Z. And Nicholas read that.
Yep.
Like a book.
So we actually have a scoop here. So what just happened, even though that was a great heads-up play, Edwin had a lot of outs. So he could have hit one of the Night Marchers and have a discard mechanism off of his prizes. He could have Hex Maniac, which is what happened here. Edwin VS Secret for Hex Maniac. He discarded off a Battle Compressor earlier in order to shut off that body or that ability on Raikou to be able to get the knockout on it. And I think Nicholas recognized that he wasn't going to be able to keep up. So I think he's just going to save his time and try for the next game.
Nicholas was donezo.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yep.
There were no outs.
It's wonderful vocabulary there, Raymond.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I try.
I do. I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
I would say the same, but we're moving on to the next game. Let's forget about that.
I suspect Nicholas is definitely going to want to go first here. If we see another situation where Nicholas starts Shaman or that Pikachu again and can't move it, and Edwin just gets a quick 2 prizes, we could see the same thing. So
yeah, that Pikachu is just a huge liability. It's crazy how much the starting Pikachu swings the matchup. And Edwin doesn't really he could start Shaman, but I don't think it's nearly as bad for him as Nicholas starting Pikachu.
Yes, yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that. So it is possible that Nicholas can put Edwin into a position where he can just stream Raikou's, and he can be the one to pressure the Night March deck. So that is, I definitely think Nicholas's goal is to get a few Dynamos down turn 1 and to start attacking turn 2 and for him to be a little more aggressive. So
I really hope that shirt he's wearing is a Pikachu shirt. He's just going all out, all in on Pikachu.
Well, he's got the little Jon Snow Pikachu there. I'm not sure actually what that is. So, all right, we're getting into the action.
Oh my God!
There
he starts Pikachu again, and Edwin is he's smiling, he's cracking up.
Yeah.
I can hear him laughing.
He knows
from
it.
here in my
he knows
head.
it. So, and this is so the winner of this match is going to go to be 4-0 in the tournament right now, which is feels good to start that strong at a regional. So,
yep, and that means they are only needing to win 2 more games, and then they're locked because they can ID the last 2 rounds and just guarantee themselves.
Yep. I think 6-0-2 will definitely put you in cut. So this is all speculative, but I think that
I think it's actually just might be definite.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
there's lots of situations that occurred with extremely large amounts of ties in particular rounds. So,
well, either way, we're gonna see Nicholas search this deck with Ultra Ball, grab some Pokemon, see what's up, and attach a Fighting Fury Belt to his Pikachu EX.
Yep. So he got this the Keldeo Floatstone here. So this is super important. So now he can effectively freely move attackers to the bench in order to power them up, and then retreat Keldeo into that attacker. So it makes his Electrics way more efficient.
Yep, for sure. And, I mean, Edwin, we can't really see his hand, so it's hard to tell. But if he doesn't just absolutely explode on his turn 1, this is going to be a rough game for him because Nicholas has an ideal setup.
A very good start. He got 2 Dynamos down. Hopefully he has, I think I saw a Lightning Energy in his hand, so he also is going to have an attachment, most likely on that Raikou. So he's in good shape.
Oh, and we see Edwin just really?
Yeah,
another one?
He's not happy to see.
DJ Khaled would be proud. Another one.
Sure.
What's up?
So did you see what he got off that level ball, Raymond?
I'm assuming it was an electric for the next turn.
Sure. So, and he does have that energy attachment, which is going on Pikachu, which is very interesting.
I mean, he might just be planning on attacking with Pikachu because he has the Keldeo Russian option So you never know. He might just try to get some usage out of the Pikachu.
Well, that Tool Scrapper was
living
very strong there to
yeah.
give him a much better chance to get the knockout on this active Pikachu, and also to remove that Float Stone off of Keldeo.
So in retrospect, this could have also been really good foresight by Nicholas, attaching the energy so he could retreat the Pikachu. Because the Pikachu has one retreat, so...
Yes. Yeah. I props to Nicholas if that's why he attached the active. So...
Good job, Nicholas.
So I actually don't think that would ever be the case because... So if he attached to the Raikou here, if his goal is to attack with Raikou the next turn, he would still need double Dynamotor no matter what. He would need to attach to the active, double Dynamotor to the Raikou, and then retreat and attack. So
you forgot one thing, though. This kid's going all in on Pikachu.
Okay, all right. You're right.
He's attaching to Pikachu. He's playing Pikachu. He's wearing Pikachu. And he has Pikachu rooting him on.
All right, so we see a pretty classic move. Discarding 3 Lampints off of that first Battle Compressor.
That's really good for Edwin, yeah.
And then going straight for a Sycamore here. So that was fortunate for Edwin that he was able to go grab a supporter, because I don't think he had any other way to draw more cards this turn.
So one card that we have up on the screen here is the new Mew from the new set Fates Collide. And this Mew, we did not see it at all last game, but it has the ability that allows it to just copy one of his Pokemon's attacks. So basically, what Mew is another Night Marcher without having to be a Night March Pokemon.
So it lets you have a Night March Pokemon on the bench protected, and you still to be able to attack. So
yeah, so basically it allows you to be less liberal with like how many Night Marchers you put in the discard. Although you still have to be careful, because if your Night Marchers get knocked out and you just don't have any more available
to see if there's that Mew there. So
get stuck.
I believe the only Night Marchers in the discard are off that Battle Compressor. So Edwin needs 6 total Night Marchers in the discard pile in order to knock out this Pikachu this turn.
I mean, he's probably discarding some with Ultra Ball. He has a Computer Search in his hand.
Yep.
So he can just get another Battle Compressor if he
wants to.
He also
still needs to get a DCE.
Yeah, he's got Shaman, though. He's got options.
He does have a very, very strong hand right now. So he could Ultra Ball, get another Night Marcher here, and then Ultra Ball that Night Marcher away. Oh, it looks like he's going for the Mew here.
Yep, that's what he's doing. We do see the Mew, and I'm assuming we're going to see a Computer Search for a Battle Compressor followed by a Shaman, but he might be holding. Oh, okay.
So I don't mind this play. He has what he needs, and he actually drew incredibly well off of that. He has the Computer Search as a failsafe and the Ultra Ball to get another Shaman, so I think he wanted to draw some more cards and get some options before he decided what to do.
Yeah, I actually really like this play by Edwin, now that you mention the positives in it. And he also just, like, if he doesn't have another supporter, like if he doesn't draw a supporter, he can just use the Computer Search to just get a supporter here.
Yep,
like, just get a Sycamore
or
a DCE.
That was very relatively aggressive to just dump all your Night Marchers there. I'm not sure. I think he still has an Ultra Ball in his hand. I believe that's 6 Night Marchers in there now. Might even be 7.
Yeah,
all right,
we got to get a Night March counter going.
So it's very possible, unless we see some very strong draws from Nicholas, that Edwin can just pick off 3 X's in 3 turns here. So
yeah, this is like really awkward to watch, because we figure that Nicholas is going to be able to like set up Dynamotors or Electrics to be able to Dynamotor and try to fight back, but so far it's just been Edwin just steamrolling him, and it's largely in part due to starting Pikachu EX both games.
Yes, that definitely was. I think these games would go a little bit different if that did not happen. So I still think Night March is a little bit favored in this matchup in general, but I think if he didn't lose that Pikachu right in the beginning, both games, this would be very different. So
yeah, for sure. And Nicholas also kind of is just forced to drop a lot of EX Pokemon.
Yep.
Which he doesn't want to do because those are free prizes for Night March if they ever find Lysander.
Yeah.
No, we actually saw it go to the discard earlier. Edwin has the opportunity to just grab a VS Seeker, or whenever he grabs a VS Seeker, he has the opportunity to just get the Lysander from his discard and just Night March a Shaman, or maybe even the Keldeo if he's up to that point.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, he's got outs with Puzzle of Time and VS Seeker to go get that Lysander.
Wait, so if Nicholas does not find a Float Stone, is there a chance that he just can't even knock out this Joltik? I mean, he could maybe attach to Raikou and double Dynamotor to Shaman, but like if he doesn't find an Energy or a Float Stone, there's just like a strong chance he won't be able to knock out this Joltik. Actually, no. He needs to find more than just that, because that Joltik has a Fighting Fury belt, so Shaman doesn't even knock it out. He actually just needs to find a Float Stone, or he will not be able to do anything.
That or an Energy and like a Tool Scrapper, then he could knock out the Joltik with Keldeo.
Or Shaman, right?
No, because he wouldn't be able to retreat the Raikou.
Because doesn't he have double Dynamotor plus attachment, so that'll be 3?
Oh, yep, you're right. I was thinking 3 energy attacks stuck on the mind.
Yeah, because Shaman's Sky Return attack only costs 2 colorless energies. That's 30 damage. That's enough to knock out the Joltik. Yeah. This is all assuming that Nicholas, first of all, he has to play Tool Scrapper, which he probably does because, like, I don't know, it's just a solid card. And second of all, he would have to find the Tool Scrapper.
Yeah, and it's very possible that he plays no Tool Scrapper.
We saw Edwin playing it, so...
Yeah, Night March, it's a little bit better Night March to get rid of those Fighting Fury belts, just that you don't have to reach as far to hit those larger numbers.
Yeah, and we see Nicholas is going to play a Trainer's Mail here. He's digging for that Float Stone, but if he can't find it, he's in a really bad position.
Yeah. Nicholas definitely needs a lot right now in order to have a chance. If we see Nicholas whiff an attack and Edwin is able to get a Lysander, I think this game is very much almost set and done.
Would you say it's donezo?
No,
Chris?
I'm not going to say that, Raymond. Nice try. Nice try.
I tried.
You did. You did try.
All right. Well, I'll try again later.
All right. Maybe you'll get me. Not this round.
Not this round. All right. So we see Nicholas just kind of struggling to do anything at all. And I don't think he found the Float Stone. I don't think he has it. I think he's just doing literally nothing this turn. And he has no Pokemon he wants to get knocked out. He doesn't want to retreat into a Eelektri. That would be bad. He doesn't want to retreat. If he retreats into Eelektri, he can't even attack next turn.
Yep, but then if he retreats into one of these EX Pokemon, it also is very bad. So
the game
I think his best bet here is to retreat and then Sky Return, probably back into the Raikou.
So is there ever a scenario where Nicholas just actually doesn't have 2 Lightnings in his discard, and since he's Sky Returning, he returns them to his hand, and it looks like he doesn't have anything going for him in his hand currently, so if he doesn't get those Lightning energies back in the discard, there's like a small chance that he won't even be able to produce an attack next turn. And he still needs to find a Float Stone on top of all of that, because whatever he promotes is just getting knocked out immediately.
So he is thinking about just taking the risk and promoting Keldeo here, because I do not think Edwin has the knockout right now. So he's just sort of taking a chance and hoping that Edwin didn't draw well off that end.
And that seems very unlikely.
Well,
we see he has Ultra Ball, he has Sycamore, Edwin is chilling.
Yes.
He's got it all.
I think we might be seeing Shaman come down here. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Edwin.
Oh yeah, Edwin is smiling. I mean, even Nicholas is kind of like, yeah, I know you got it. You're Night March. Like this is not looking good for me. You kind of You just kind of have to laugh it off at that point.
Yep.
It happens.
Oh, wow, and we hit double puzzle of time for Edwin here, so
That's insane.
he just says he can go get another battle compressor here. He's got so many options.
Explain what Puzzle of Time does.
So Puzzle of Time, you can play one of them, and you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and rearrange them. But the card has a neat little effect where if you play 2 of them at the same time, you get to search your discard pile for any 2 cards and put them in your hand. So it's incredibly powerful with cards like Battle Compressor to be able to throw away combo cards that work well together and be able to grab them both back with that Puzzle Time. And it looks like he's looking through his discard to decide what to get off of the puzzles.
Getting back your A spec, it just seems so broken to me. Just being able to because your A spec, like the whole point of it is you're only supposed to ever play 1 per game or 1 in your deck, which generally means you only play 1 per game, right?
Yep.
And this kind of just breaks that rule completely. And he's just going to be playing, I don't know, he could play up to 3 computer searches in 1 game if he wants to. Or if that was something like a Life Do, just if he decided to tech that in instead of computer search and cut his consistency down, that's like potentially 3 prizes that your opponent just never takes.
So what we're about to see here, I think, is going to nearly lock out the game. So Edwin has not played a supporter this turn, I believe.
No.
He's going to VS Seeker for that Hex Maniac.
Yeah, and Chris knows what's coming.
Yeah.
Or
Nicholas
knows.
I also know what is coming.
Yeah, you also know what's coming.
Yes. We see a Hex Maniac here, which locks out those eels. I don't think there's any way that that Nicholas can get a decent attack next turn.
No.
So,
and we just see Edwin Night March the Keldeo.
So,
and Nicholas is, I mean, he's lost all hope. Like, you could just tell in his body language. He's already given up on the inside.
I think it's time for Dynamo to start.
Yeah, he might
start flipping.
I mean, there's a chance that he just never read the Dynamo. Honestly,
I think if you're 3-0 at a regionals, you know what your Dynamos do.
You know what your Dynamos do, but
here he comes.
What are the odds that
he knows his outs? We need a Float Stone and a Lightning Energy.
I remember when there was a time where you would carefully pick and choose your Dynamos and which ones you played, because there were a lot of different Dynamos in previous formats that actually had relevant attacks. So you actually wanted different Dynamos for different situations.
Yep.
But now I think we're just sticking to the Thunder Wave.
Yeah, I think that that chance of paralysis could just get you out of sticky situations like this, and I think most players, especially with such a large card pool in the expanded format, it's nice to have options like this.
For sure, and we see the Lightning Energy go on the Raikou. We're probably going to see Shaman. And he's Hex Maniac, right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, we see it again. Shaman gets dropped while under Hex Maniac, and the game's over. The game's just over.
Yeah, I don't see
that.
Yeah,
that's the 2nd time in a row. Maybe there's just a curse. That's the stream curse. You just forget about Hex Maniac and play your Shamans down and slowly cry on the inside.
So at this point, I think Nicholas needs to hit a Float Stone and a Lightning Energy.
No, it's over, dude. It's over. It's over.
Well, Raymond, I'm trying to look on the bright side here. I'm trying to stay positive.
After you play a Shaman after Hex Maniac, there's no bright side.
It looks like Edwin drew a teammates off that, so that's even worse for Nicholas. Because even if he manages to get a knockout here, then that just means that Edwin can just teammates for whatever he needs. And it looks like he did hit that Float Stone, so
all right.
Raikou's going to come in and take this knockout.
Right, it might not be over.
It's definitely not over.
I was wrong.
So
just this once.
Actually, I think it is over. If that was a teammates I saw in his hand, because he'll be able to teammates for DCE plus.
All right, if that's true, then
Dimension Valley.
I lied. I was never actually wrong, and I'm still the best. All right, So there is like, what is the chance that like Nicholas just reads the situation, just goes for paralysis, goes for an end the next turn?
Yeah, you definitely don't go for. Oh, hold on. I'm completely forgetting about the Hex Maniac. He already attached that energy to that Raikou, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he actually can't attack.
We literally just saw him play a Shaman under Hex Maniac, and like.
Yeah, all he can do is.
We're talking about dynamotoring to it.
All he can do is retreat that into a non-EX Pokemon and just buy one turn and then see what he can do.
Which is
next.
nothing.
I believe Edwin actually has another VS Seeker in his hand. I think VS Seeker. Was it VS Seeker teammates that he got off of that end? I'm not sure.
I feel like this turn has been a good 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's just been going on and on and on. And we just see Hex Maniac come up again and he's like, oh, time to Dynamo. Wait, nope, still under Hex Maniac. Oh, time to Shaman. Plays the Shaman. Oh, wait, no, I'm still under Hex Maniac. But to be fair, in all honesty, he was under Hex Maniac, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a tough situation. So.
Yeah, like, he could have attached to the Dynamo.
Yep, oh, and he just top decks the Lysander for game.
Yeah, and that's game.
Yep, and that's
Edwin
just
takes it 2-0.
That's just the power of Night March.
And Hex Maniac.
And Hex Maniac, yep,
the
absolutely.
Curse of the first.
Absolutely.
You
so
just forget.
All right, well, congrats, Edwin, going on to 4-0, starting right here at New England Regional Championships. We're going to go on a break now until round 5 starts. So there's another 15 minutes left in this round, and then we'll have a little time in between rounds, and then we'll be back for round 5.